Hi, everybody. My name is Perla Ramos. I'm an Assistant Director of Enrollment for the School of Business, and I'm joined with my colleague, Eliane Gonzalez, who's also an ADE, who will be managing the chat box. We'll be introducing a few guests as we go through our presentation, and so that way you guys can get to know a little about the university. So what we're going to be covering today is the student success, the Moodle and student planning, library resources and textbooks, a professor's perspective, veterans and military services, student financial services, what's next, our landing page, a Q&A, and then we'll have student planning tutorial for those that need it. At this time, I'd like to introduce Lillian Dimas, who is an Assistant Director of Student Success. Her and her colleagues will be connecting with you by the third week of class and start working with you at that point. So take it away, Lily.
Thank you, Perla. So next slide, please. Okay, so my name is Lily Dimas, and on behalf of the Student Success Team, we welcome you to the University of Redlands School of Business and Society. As you begin your journey with us at the University of Redlands, please know that we're all here to support you in your quest for personal and professional growth. In my function as a student assistant director of student success, I will work alongside you as your academic advisor to provide academic advising assistance over the duration of your degree program. We are available to answer any questions that you may have about your degree completion plan, scheduling, tutoring, disability services, study abroad, the mentor program, and commencement eligibility. Our goal is to help you learn, develop, activate, and launch your academic, personal, and professional development for your future. While the principal responsibility of academic success lies with the individual student, we are here to help you take the initiative to create the opportunities for your future success. Next slide, please. So during the initial advisement appointment, during your first class, we will be contacting you. You will be contacted by your advisor to schedule an initial advising appointment. And during this time, we will go over the student checklist and program planner. The checklist serves as a roadmap with recommendations for various action items that you will need to know about as you progress through your program from the start and basically from the start all the way to the end. Next slide, please. The degree planners. So here's a quick overview of our degree planner. As you can see, each degree has a different degree planner, and we will use different planners. This one specifically for the Bachelor's of Science in Business. The planner serves as a great resource for planning your class schedule, reviewing course prerequisites and their next availability. As you can see on the left-hand side, it'll basically show you when the class will rotate next. If any non-core credits are required as a part of your program, we will also list them below. During your initial consultation, we'll walk you through that process as well. Next slide, please. So to register for classes and view your progress, you will need to log into your My Redlands portal. From there, you may access Moodle, email, and self-service. Self-service is where you can get updates, update your contact information, access financial aid, student accounts, review your grades, look up your unofficial transcripts, and student planning. Through student planning, you will have the option to view your progress or plan and register your classes. As you can see here, when you've planned your classes, you will see basically a check mark in green and light yellow that says planned. And then when you finalize them, they will have a check mark that says registered but not started. Next slide, please. So with the spring registration, we want you to be aware there are several options for you to consider when you go register for classes this semester. Please be aware that you should expect to spend at least 16 to 20 hours of workload outside of your classroom for studying to be successful. So time management will be very important to managing your courses. The first option we have is online live or hybrid. This online live section basically serves you will have to log in at a specific time and date of your choosing listed on the registration portal. to participate in live lectures with your instructors and classmates. You will be able to access the class from your personal computer anywhere. Your second option would be on ground, which requires you to attend in person at a campus listed. As a reminder, this does require proof of COVID vaccination. Your third option would be a combination of both online hybrid and an on ground. And once again, because you will be taking, if you choose this option and you will be taking it on ground, this also requires proof of vaccination. And your last option would be remote campus or connected classroom, which is you will see the location listed as remote campus. Our connected classrooms utilize smart technology where students from other campuses can join in from their local campus. This option is only open to new students starting in the spring and will require proof of vaccination. Next slide, please. Once you are registered for classes, you will find them in Moodle. Like self-service, Moodle can be accessed through the My Redlands portal. Most instructors will open the course or make it visible to students about 2 weeks prior to the start of the class. I recommend checking your Moodle regularly for updates from your instructor, as they will post your syllabus and textbook requirements prior to the start of the class. In addition to your classes, you will gain access to the School of Business Online Advising Center in Moodle. The Online Advising Center is a great resource for you to obtain information to enhance your success as a student. These tools will be available to you 24/7. Here you will find information on additional student resources such as registration, events, workshops, study abroad, important announcements, and updates. So I encourage you to explore it as often as you need to gain access to it. I also want to remind you that you need to check your Redlands email regularly, as this is where we send all official communication. Next slide, please. So to meet our team. So I would like to introduce you to the rest of our student success staff. We have Autumn McKiernan, and she is out of our Redlands campus. Harmony Carr, which is out of our Temecula campus. Me, which I am out of the Burbank campus. We have Paul Broding, which is out of our San Diego campus. Diana Guerrero, which is out of our South Coast Metro campus. Convy Philadelphia, which is located out of our Rancho Cucamonga campus. And Wen Lee, which is located out of our Riverside campus. We look forward to working with you to achieving your goals, and thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Lily. At this time, we'll be speaking with Janelle Juligay. She's our library assistant and going over library resources.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Perla. So I will, on behalf of the library, just as Lily just did for student services, welcome you to the University of Redlands. I'll just briefly introduce myself. My name is Janelle Juligay, and I've been a librarian at the U of R, Armacost Library, for 11 years now. And I work specifically with the programs of business, accounting, and economics, and I'm here to help you with your research. The library itself exists as a physical building on the heart of the Redlands campus, which you can visit anytime that it's open. I would welcome you to do that if you're in driving distance. And it also exists as a 24/7 online resource for you as student scholars. So as your classes get underway, you'll find that your professors will be expecting you to engage with college level resources in the form of required readings, assignments, and research papers. Resources of this kind are typically not found on the open web via a simple browser search. They are located behind paywalls, in databases, and other collections, and the library uses a portion of your tuition to pay for access to these tools on your behalf. So when you go to the library homepage, there'll be a find information box, and you can launch a search there, and it will allow you to search across all of our owned and subscribed resources at once. This can be a little bit overwhelming because the library subscribes to resources for every single discipline taught on campus. So the Business Studies Research Guide, which has been posted in the chat, thank you, Leanne, can be a more approachable place to start your research in most cases. However, I really want to emphasize that as students, you have access to all of our resources. So for example, if you were in a HR class, you might be interested in perusing the guide for psychology. If you were in an ethics class, you might want to look at the one for philosophy, or if you find yourself in a green business course, looking at the resources available in environmental studies might be a good idea. You'll find that each of these guides is authored by a different librarian like myself with unique research expertise in that area. So we're all available to you. If you ever need anything that lies beyond our resources, we are able to obtain it for you via interlibrary loan. This is a free service available to you as students that allows you to request anything that we do not have already for you. So with access to hundreds of thousands of books, periodicals, and other media, it can be overwhelming to know where to begin, particularly if there has been a gap since your last time in school. Like many things, a lot about the way that you discover, engage with, and contribute to the body of academic knowledge changes every year. So I myself am one more resource that you should become familiar with as your guide to academic research and business studies. You can ask a question, reach me anytime via email, during office hours via chat, or using our How Do I FAQs on our website, which answer a lot of common questions. I'm available to meet with you synchronously via WebEx or in person during office hours or by appointment. And I have 5 wonderful colleagues who are also librarians in those other subject areas who can help you navigate things as well. Since it may be a moment before you are actually required to engage with library resources, I want to emphasize a few things. You already have a library account. Sorry. Your My Redlands ID is your access, and your student ID is your library card. Well, just a moment. That's great. She's protecting us from all of the terrible things in the world. So you already have an account, and those are your points of access. You can reach the library website via the My Redlands portal that you were just being shown from a student services perspective. And then you have also the link in the chat. So while most resources are either directly available online through our website or via interlibrary loan request, there are 2 exceptions that come up pretty frequently for students that I wanted to point out. Textbooks are something that you'll have to buy for yourself via the bookstore on campus or some other avenue that you find online. And Harvard Business Review case studies in particular are resources that we're not able to subscribe to institutionally on your behalf. So those kind of also have to be purchased by you as the individual student. And so I'll just reiterate a couple of things. Your professors will be expecting you to use these resources in your assignments, and Googling won't really get you there. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I can help you with locating your reading, framing a research question, citing your sources, or anything to do with the research process. I really look forward to your questions. Otherwise, I would be in a terrible profession for myself. So I'll just quickly, I think Professor Allison Freyberg is on next, and she might mention this, but she hosts a writing lounge series, and she's allowing me to host one in January on, as she puts it, breaking up with Google, where I will go over some of the basics of doing research through our library resources. So I would encourage you to attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. And as she mentioned, we are now going to speak with our professor of communication and cultural studies, Allison Freyberg. Thank you, Allison, for being here.
Sure. Thanks, Perla. And yeah, the first thing I want to say is memorize Janelle's email address and how to get in touch with her, because she is amazing, and she will help you when you're really in that place where you just don't know how to move forward and you have all the energy to do so, but you just don't know where to go. And so come on by the Writing Lounge in January. We'll drop the link in the chat, and Janelle's going to guide us through. I've been doing this for 35 years, and every time she comes by the Writing Lounge to show us how to do this, I learn something new every time. So come on by. But yeah, so hi, I'm Allison Freyberg, and essentially, I'm here to make sure that your learning experience is out of this world. Okay, we want you when you are in our programs to have a really personalized education. I say this often, if you're here because you just want to look at someone move slides and yammer at you for a few hours a week, really, you're in the wrong place, okay? Because the whole point of the School of Business and Society is for you to bring your experience to our classrooms, however you're taking the classes, and to share your knowledge with each other, to apply the concepts that we're bringing to you in the classroom, and to figure out new ways of doing business, good ways of doing business that attend to our societal issues and understand that we're people who live in society. Nothing, I don't care if you're in the MBA or the MSBA or the MSOL or the BSB or any other series of alphabet degrees we can give you. It's really about connecting with each other. It's really about figuring out how to do business well in this world. So that's kind of my job. I'm going to tell you a little bit for a second about what I do, a couple of programs that I'm intimately involved with. First of all, if you're in the MSOL, you'll see me in the leadership communication course. If you're in the BSB, you'll see me in our critical analysis class. And hopefully many of you will see me in the Writing Lounge. And if we could drop the, oh, you got that link in there already. Yeah, if you just go to that link, there's a bunch of recordings already in there that you can watch on various topics related to writing, because I don't know, guessing some of you haven't been in school for a while, maybe? Or there's always writing issues and presentation issues and general communication issues that you want to get better at. And what we've got is just a series of webinars that helps you do that. It's a lounge. It's meant to be really relaxed. I try to introduce a few trouble spots every time and give you some techniques to get out of those trouble spots. So I hope you really see this as a resource. We run them a couple times a month, usually on Wednesdays, but go on over to the Writing Lounge and see what's available. Or honestly, you can just go to my YouTube channel. I even have a playlist called Everything I Know About Writing, and it's a series of 20 lectures, short lectures that you can look at. Although I do advise you not to be driving when you're listening because drowsiness may occur. Okay, so watch out for that. But the other thing I do, and again, to make this some sort of meaningful personal experience, is I, along with Professor Michael McQueen, run our international programs. And these programs are, oh, and there you go. You got the link right on cue. Wow, this production is good. Right on cue, where we give you options to have short term, basically an 8 to 11 day experience where we take you abroad and we visit businesses every day. And for example, I'm taking a group of students to Italy and Slovenia in May, and we're going to visit a 500-year-old velvet manufacturer, and we're going to visit with a wine exporter, and she's going to tell us her strategy for distributing wine globally, Italian wine globally. And we're going to see some blockchain entrepreneurs in Slovenia. So we're doing all sorts of great stuff with our short-term study abroad programs. Mike and I lead them, and you can substitute a course. You can substitute your international business course or your global business class, or even your capstone for one of these programs. And we also have a global consultancy capstone. So if in your final course, your capstone course, you would like to do a consultancy project instead of taking your regular class, you can apply for our global consultancy or our domestic consultancy. And what we do is we set you up with a firm, a business that has a project. Again, for example, I am taking at the end of January a group of 5 students over to Trieste, Italy, and we're working with a winery that wants to start exporting to uh, other European countries. And the team is going to build a report and a study for them. So these are these kind of real life, real world, engaged people talking with people kind of experiences that we want to bring to you. You can email me, find me on LinkedIn. Please find me on LinkedIn. You'll find out all about what's happening. And that's kind of what I do in relation to our goals in the School of Business. And if we go to the next slide, I'll just talk for a second about how that kind of fits into the overall perspective. Again, we want you to have a personalized experience where you're talking to each other, where things are lively and engaging, and you're grinding through stuff, trying to figure stuff out. And one of the things we base that process on is this idea of 21st century skills. These are skills that I tend to call the long skills. These are skills that are going to outlast any business program, any business trend. These are the ones you're going to be able to use professionally for the rest of your lives. And they will last. They are the long skills. They're how to be analytical, how to incorporate spatial elements, how to be ethical, how to be persuasive, and of course, societal issues as we have our School of Business and Society, environmental, entrepreneurial, global. Global, you just come on a study abroad with me, right? Collaborative, integrative. These are all the skills that are the foundation. They're the infrastructure through which we develop all our courses. So no matter what your program is in, you're going to be working on these kinds of skills. And above all, just want to welcome you to Redlands. I've gone on and on, as faculty members tend to do. So I will close here. Email me, find me on LinkedIn, message me. I want to talk to you, and I can't wait to meet you in the classroom. Ciao.
Thank you, Allison. Always a privilege to have you to talk about everything about school, the school perspective, right? Okay, so at this time, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Veterans and Military Services. Thank you for your services for anybody that has participated in the military. We're always happy to help you and manage your benefits and make this a really great experience for you. If you are a military member, these would be the persons that would be your contact. We have Monique Pope. She's the Director of Military Services. If you filled out your application, you might have already received an email in regards to asking about what type of benefits you are. And if I'm hoping by this time, many of you guys have already filled out those forms. If you haven't, please go back to your emails or talk to your enrollment advisor and ask them to send you the information in regards to filling that information about the military benefits so that you're taking advantage. If you're not even sure about your military benefits, I encourage you to speak with Monique because there could be possible benefits that you could take advantage of. We also have Erin Lee. She's also your military specialist too, there to assist with all of this. As far as financial aid, we have 2 financial aid service coordinators. They work off of Alpha. We have Diana Resendez, who covers A through K, and then Cheryl Mata from L through Z. Now, if you haven't done your financial aid or are kind of rethinking if you haven't already and you want to apply, this would be the time to apply. If you have and you haven't contacted your advisor, I would encourage you to do that. We want to make sure that this is really a smooth transition for you. You're aware of all the cost, so you don't have any doubt or concern. If you're filling out the FAFSA, you want to apply for the 21-22 school year. and our FAFSA code is 001322. So I highly encourage everybody, again, to utilize any benefit that you guys have or can take advantage of, because it really does make a big difference with your education, especially if there's scholarships out there. They can answer a lot of questions that I think would be useful out there. So definitely take advantage of that. Now, as a student, you're going to be, once you become a student and you're given a student ID, I encourage you to download our application app. You'll find that in either the Apple Store or the Google Play. You want to definitely download this because it has your student ID, and you'll be utilizing that throughout your education for many different reasons. But there also has a lot of the other resources that you can utilize, as you can see in this screen. So please take advantage of that. Please utilize your ID and download it now, because again, you will be using it, especially if you're doing in classroom or on-site, utilizing the resources. You may need to use this at that time, or maybe even take advantage of any discounts that are out there by having a student ID. Okay. So right now we're going to go over finding your books. I know that's a big question of many. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen right now, the PowerPoint, and actually go through a live website so that way you guys can find your course materials and know how to find them. So when you actually have access to the student portal, you'll have your main screen here. You'll go to find it. Campus services, and then bookstore. Okay. When you get there, you'll see this screen right here. When you want to hover over the course materials and textbooks, find course materials, and then you're going to come and actually input the classes that you're in. So in this example, we're going to go ahead and put business fall. We're going to have BUSB. I'm doing an undergrad program right now because I tend to be an advisor for the undergrad students. So I'm very familiar with this course. And then again, you're just going to go ahead and go down the filters of your class that is on your degree planner. So if you're unsure of what number and course number, you get your degree planner and then focus and kind of copy everything here. So then you'll actually retrieve that, and you can put as many as 4 books or more. But again, this is just showing the ones that for this specific class. And then it has what is required, and then it actually shows you the different options of utilizing it. Now, this is actually coming from our official bookstore. Now, although this is a great option, we do encourage you to, utilize whatever resources that you have out there to find the book. We want to make sure that you do have the book regardless of where you get it. So it's very important that at least you know here what books are required, and you can do your own research and purchase them. Okay. So I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint. Start it all over. Okay. So this is our landing page, and this is a very important resource for every student. So again, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen because I think it's a little bit better if you see it, what it really looks like. But this gives you all the resources and may answer any question that you really have. I consider it the Bible of our school because again, you're going to have millions of questions as you're going and attending as a student. You're going to want to utilize a lot of the resources. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Sorry, not moving. Here we go. Okay, so this is what that resource looks like. And it has academic and career resources. It has register for classes and a lot of little links here. I think it's important if you're needing a question to utilize this resource first because it can answer directly and even give you examples of how to utilize the resources, especially for your Moodle Access where a lot of your classes are going to be taken. So I highly encourage you. I know that they're going to put the link up here for the landing page to bookmark it in your computer at this moment, because I know you're going to be utilizing this page itself. It's and again, it's going to answer a lot of the questions that you may have. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. Oh, doing that. Sorry about that. Okay, so what's next? At this time, if you have not completed your registration, you want to do your registration. We're going to go over it at the very end for those that still need that additional help. You can also contact your enrollment advisor in regards to that assistance also. Now, if you have not, when you first applied, if you utilized unofficial transcripts, you're going to want to go back to your application and actually upload or request official transcripts so that you don't have any kind of perk hold set on you because we did not receive your officials. So make sure that if you haven't sent your officials, you get your officials in. This would be the moment to do it. It may be a little bit backlogged because obviously with the holidays, many schools take a little while to get transcripts, especially if they're the ones that still mail. But I would encourage you at this time, and if you're not sure if you still are missing official transcripts, talk to your advisor. I think that's very important. And at this time, again, purchase your books. If you already have registered for your classes, purchase your books so you're ahead. The syllabus should be coming out pretty soon. So once you actually receive the syllabus, there may be homework already assigned. So you want to have those textbooks already ready for you so that you can start off really at a fast pace here. Check for homework again, and we're going, and I can't even talk right now. Make sure you actually do your peregrine assessment. So when you've actually registered, you might have seen that there's an onboarding graduate or undergraduate assessment. Again, this is something that is required by every student for you to take. It does not affect your grades or your GPA. It is a learning tool for us to see what knowledge you're actually walking in with in this degree program that you are about to start. So please take that assessment. You're going to find that assessment in Moodle. Normally it is released the week of classes start or the week that week. So please look out for it in Moodle and do your assessment. I always encourage students to do it as soon as possible, just because again, you don't want an assessment that you have to do and it's mandatory while you have homework. So if you can knock it out really soon, that's actually better for you. That's my opinion. But you will have till the last of your semester before you have to take it. But again, I encourage you to do that as soon as possible. Now, during the first week of class, you'll actually get an email to check in. Now, many people think that by just attending class, you're already attending and the professor knows and you're checked in. You'll actually receive an email directly in your personal email to check in the first week of class. That check-in, that actually marks you for your attendance. Again, that's very, very important. I can't stress it anymore that it's very important to actually check in. Through your email, you'll get an email that says, please check in. You'll want to click on that you have attended your class, because that is how we track your attendance. We've had many issues where students don't check that in, have been in the course for maybe 3 to 4 weeks and haven't gotten credit for any of it. So again, it's very important for you to actually check in when you receive the email, and it'll come usually the first week of that week that you're starting. Again, visit your landing page. I hope you guys already bookmarked that, but look at all the resources, get familiar with it. There's so many things that I tell students that you could take advantage as a student, resources that are available that can help you not only as a student, but as a professional. There's the Office of Career and Development that you can utilize a lot of their resources in preparing yourself for, the job market. So again, so many different resources. So please visit that. Make sure that you're well equipped. If you have any questions, again, please talk to your enrollment advisor or many of the advisors here that spoke today in regards to certain aspects of your question. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and take some questions from everybody that actually presented. We're here to assist you at this moment. So please unmute your microphone or type in your question. We're happy to assist at this moment.
Perla, did we emphasize the hours of work that will be typically required from a student?
I believe Lily mentioned that. Did anybody want to answer that question?
I just wanted to just emphasize that it takes, as far as if you're doing the in-person or the hybrid, you have that 2 hours of class time, but you're also looking at, 15 to 20 hours of classwork during the week on top of just your meeting time. On the peregrine assessment too, don't be stressed out if you're not seeing that assessment in your portal 2 weeks prior to starting class. I know in our last session for our fall semester students, you didn't see that assessment until your classes started. So just give it some time, but keep an eye out for it so that you can get it done as soon as possible. And as far as the check-in goes, if you are having issues checking in, just send an email to your enrollment counselor and we can get you checked in. It's a little confusing because it goes to that personal email and not the Redlands email. So password wise, you might not remember the password when you submitted your application, and that's okay. Just send us an email and then we'll make sure that you get checked in as well. Those were just a few things that I can recall that would probably come to your attention. Oh, and then when you register for courses, that XERM code that you see with your other courses, there's usually like two XERM shown on your schedule. Those are just placement holders for our internal system. So don't worry about those if you're seeing those in your scheduling. Okay. I think we have a few questions coming in. Okay, so I'm wondering about the global studies. Is that an option available for business analytics students? Yes, you do have the option of doing your international student or studies. And then when you speak to your student success advisor, they'll let you know which course that will replace. And then for Jamie Bennett, for FAFSA, when will we find out if we qualify and what will be given? I know it's after registering.
So typically, go ahead.
Go ahead, Perla.
Okay, so if you've already filled out your FAFSA, you should have gotten already an email directly from the government FAFSA website saying that your application was completed and you should have gotten an award. If you're unsure, because sometimes we delete emails, you can always speak with your financial advisor, either Cheryl Mata or Diana Resendez, and they can help you to see what they see on their side. If they could definitely assist with that. But normally, once you submit your application, it typically takes 3 days.
And you will also see it in your student portal. You'll see your letter in your student portal as well. So in your self-service tab, there should be a financial aid tab where you can see your award letter. And we have one from Cassie. For the graduate program, which term do you select for courses starting in January in the bookstore? I'll have to look. It should say spring of 2022, but it might have it might say business in front of it. I've noticed that with the sections, but Cassie, I can help you out with that. I'll have to take a look.
Okay, yeah, there's two kind of terms that would make sense to select, but then when I look at the department, it doesn't have the corresponding courses. So,
Okay, yeah, let me take a look for that.
Yeah, Cassie, the other thing you can do is once your course is loaded into Moodle, the syllabus will have the books on there.
okay.
I know sometimes at Bookstore, the drop-down menus aren't, you know, the terms are kind of not aligned or they're a little off. So you have to kind of keep picking and choosing until you find one that works.
I want to say it's actually showing fall business, what is it, business fall 2 or 3 on there as an option. I think you might be able to find your course books on that.
Oh, it's
As
probably
I
gonna be
showed in
3
the
then.
example.
Might be 3. Okay, and then we have one from Jacob. So yes, Jacob, make sure that when you are requesting your official transcripts that you wait for your grades, your official grades to be posted before requesting. It's a good question. Okay, and then we have Obi, where do we upload the vaccination records? Great question. I'll send you will also receive an email from us if you you are registered for in-person classes. So from what I believe, Obi, you're not registered for in-person, so you will not need to upload your vaccination record. So only the students that are taking the remote or the in-person, and you're going to be actually coming, you know, to a campus, you will be receiving an email that will ask for you to upload your vaccination record.
Or if you plan to in the future to attend a campus, make sure you upload those vaccinations.
Okay. Right. Oh, thank you, Angie. I wasn't seeing your answers.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So,
Is there any other questions out there?
Yes,
You can
I have a
mute
question,
yourself.
if you don't mind me ask you. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so I already registered for my classes, but I still don't see them in my portal. Do you know how long does it take to like see my classes in my portal?
So usually
you
you will
should be
see,
able.
oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
So usually you will be able to see them about 2 weeks before the class starts.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I tried to check it out now, and I couldn't find them, and I already, I registered like last week. So yeah, okay, then I will just wait. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. No other questions? Then at this time, for those that do not need to know about registration and student planning, you can log off at this time. And I will go ahead and proceed to go over how to register yourself and walk you through that path. Okay. All right, let's go to student planning here. So when you first get access to your student portal, again, you're going to go into the myredlands.edu. You're going to see this red box. You're going to select the self-service, which is going to give you access to that panel. When you walk through the registration, you'll see this type of view. You're going to go ahead and select the student planning to register for classes. The next screen you'll actually see is to plan your degree and register. You're going to go ahead and click on that. And then at the top right corner, you're going to end up seeing a search button. This is where you actually type in your classes. You would not want to put any spaces. So for an example, management 633, you can see that they put it all together. Don't worry about the IR 503. That's an old example, but you would end up putting your course and the course number. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and open it. It's going to show you on the main page the actual class itself. There, from right there, you're going to go ahead and click on View Available Sections. Once you view the available sections, you'll actually see the different options down below. Once you find the selection that you are very interested in attending, so for an example here, The student wanted the Redlands actual on-site location. And you could see that there's 30 seats that are available. The time frame is on Saturdays from 10 to 5. Currently, we don't have Saturday classes. Again, this is an old example, but just to let you know what you need to look for. When you're registering or planning out classes, please pay attention to the dates that are shown there, that it is for that semester or start for that semester. So in this case, the January session, not a March session that you're actually looking for this specific class. Once you've selected, you're going to go ahead and add section to schedule, and you'll have planned your class. So this kind of gets, again, gives you a breakdown of the different options that are out there when you're looking at the different modalities. When you see hybrid, that is the online live, which will include an L. Again, no vaccinations are required. When you see LEC, that is the lecture that is on ground. And of course, again, vaccinations will be required for these courses. When you see online or OLN, again, no vaccinations. That is 100% online. Now, typically those are more offered in the MBA program only. Then you have the remote campus. Remote campus is that you would remote in from that specific class to connect to another campus. That does require vaccination. So make sure that when you're selecting and making your selections, you know exactly what you are selecting and being prepared to show proof of vaccination or not. So here again, now that we've planned out the class, when you actually go to the main course again, you'll actually see the registration buttons. There's typically a register now button at the very top. That button is actually going to register for any classes that have been planned. So let's say you planned out both classes. This button right here will register both courses. The one on the left will help you register individually. So make sure that you would have to click on both classes to register. Again, this gives you an option. Let's say, for example, we planned out both classes, but you're pretty sure that you want that class, you'll register for that one. But let's say you're still kind of debating on another class, that the individual registration for each class gives you more lead time. So you're not registered for two classes. So I hope that makes sense in regards to that. But either way, they will register you for your classes. It's just depending on if you want to do both at the same time or one individually after the other. So again, once you see that it actually turns green, it says registered, not started, but again, it shows green, you have registered for the class, and it'll give a little bit of a description. Common issues that may occur. Here, if you show the class, but you did not pick a section, again, that could be an issue, because if you're just, when you first select the classes, if you don't view available sections, if you don't click on this available view available sections, and you just add the course to plan, you will not be registered for that class. You'll be selecting a class, but you have to pick a section. So make sure that you're viewing available sections and actually selecting a section. You may see red flags where there could be possible holds. A lot of times it will give out a phone number to contact. You can also contact your advisor. They can help you in regards to letting you know who you need to speak with in regards to that specific hold. It could be a FAFSA hold, it could be a transcript hold, it could be a lot of different things. But just make sure that if you see this, please take care of it, because it will not allow you to register until that hold is removed. And again, showing the difference between a planned class and a registered class. So make sure again that you're picking a section that it doesn't show planned, it actually shows registered, to know that you fully have registered. So again, a different view. This gives you a view of your classes that you're planned out. Sometimes if you see that there's you're meeting 2 nights in a week, um, it depends on the time of year. So for example, if there's Thanksgiving, let's say typically your class is on a Thursday and you see a date typically that starts on a Thursday, but then you see a Monday date. It could be that during Thanksgiving, let's just say, for example, that Thursday you're going to be in a Tuesday class that week. Because obviously we wouldn't expect you to attend on Thanksgiving or a holiday. So just don't get confused by that. It's still whatever date or night of the day that it actually says at the top, that's typically the class time that you will be attending on a normal basis. But then again, it'll give you a different date when you will be meeting if there's a holiday that falls on your class. And that is student planning. So does anybody have questions in regards to student planning? I'm happy, or everybody's happy to help at this moment. See, let me open up my chat to see if there's any typed in questions.
I think I'm just going to chime in for Maryland, and I think that applies to anyone. Yeah, typically you won't be, like, you can plan your courses ahead of time, but when you're looking at books for, let's say, your March course, through what Perla showed everyone by going into the bookstore, the books are typically listed 4 weeks prior to the start of each course. So that's why, Maryland, you're not seeing it yet. You're welcome.
Is there any other questions about student planning or any
Yes.
question at all?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Imelda, and I just have a quick question. I posted in the chat box, but I'll go ahead and share. I wanted to know what if you need to make changes to your class schedule after you've already registered for classes? Can that also be done online?
So if it's within the registration period, you still can go in there and actually drop the class and make the changes itself. If it's after the registration period, you do want to, especially if when you're first starting out, you want to contact your enrollment advisor to make those changes. While you start your program, and a problem like this occurs and you're out of the registration period, you want to contact your assistant director of student success, which was like Lily or anybody of her department. They can go ahead and assist you with that. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, no, you totally did. Thank you so much. And I see Angie. Angie's on the line. Angie Bainon.
Oh,
is it
Hey,
possible?
Melda, I'm glad you're on.
Hi. Is it possible for me to set up some time with you? I just need to make one last minute change.
Yeah, absolutely. I am available pretty much all afternoon. I'll be probably popping into the 5 p.m. session for our back to school. Yeah, give me a call.
Sure. We can connect offline. Thank you so much.
Sounds great.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question. I was actually having trouble uploading a picture onto my app, my Redlands app for the student ID.
What kind of error message is it giving you?
It's not giving me an error message. It gives me the option to submit an ID photo, but it takes me to my browser. And then once I submit it, it doesn't upload onto the student ID. So I don't know if it takes a couple of days to process or how that would work.
From what I remember, it's typically like really instant at that time to upload. If you're having IT issues, let me let you guys know. And I don't think we actually put this in there, but any IT issues that you have, you want to contact ResNet. ResNet can help you out with any issues like this on your portal, their direct number is 909-748-8921. Again, that's 909-748-8921. I would go ahead and contact them. They can go ahead and give you that support in regards to anything that's on your portal. Thank you, Leanne, for putting that up there.
Thank you so much. And then I do have another question regarding registration. So I am registered for my classes, but I am considering switching one of my classes. Is that something that I can do if I'm already registered?
Again, if it's in the registration period, then you can go back in there and make changes. Now, if you're deviating from your student planning, again, we give you a planner for a reason, because there's a lot of times there's a lot of prerequisites. So I would encourage you, before you make a lot of these changes, to speak with an advisor to guide you a little bit better.
And where would I find my advisor?
Who's your enrollment advisor that you've been working with for admissions? Do you know?
Yes, Anita.
Okay, so yes, you'll definitely want to contact Anita.
Okay.
She'll be able to assist you with that.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for answering my questions.
Oh, no problem. Any more questions? Okay. If there's not any more questions, we're going to go ahead and conclude this presentation of our back to school. I'm very excited for all of you guys that are getting started here. We look forward to having you as part of our university. And so if you have any additional questions, please reach out to your advisors. We're all happy to help. And like I said, any of the staff that you met today, we all want you to be successful. So definitely utilize us and take advantage of what we have to offer. Okay. Have